It's hard to win a game with 5 turnovers, and that's 8 in the last 2 weeks. Frustrating there. I have to go back and see exactly some of them. And then, one really 4th and 1 on our first drive, and we're fixed to score a touchdown, and, we mishandled the snap and the mesh. And so really frustrating right there. I thought one good thing is I thought the guys, played to the end. There's a lot of frustration in that locker room right now, and I hate it for them. And some really guys that are, just upset by the way we played. So with that, I'll open up with questions.
Coach, you won nearly every offensive category tonight except for winning the turnover battle and obviously penalties. Because what do you kind of take of all that? You're having so much success for the rest of the game, but just those penalties and turnovers coming in at costly times.
Yeah, the turnovers were really big. We'll have to see with the penalties. I think I'd hopefully get to talk to y'all on Tuesday, so I'll have some comments on those. I haven't been able to ask for one to be able to see. I just couldn't. It was too blurry to see from my video guy, so we'll see whenever we get everything loaded on our iPads. But the biggest thing is the turnovers, and it's just not like, if you think about the momentum swing, number one, I think we gave up 13 points off of turnovers, and then the momentum swing of the 2 plays to where they stop us on 4th down because we can't handle the snap and the mesh, and then you turn around and really on the very same play we do the same thing except we fumble, and they recover it in the end zone for the touchdown. So, really, you talking about swings in the game, even though, it's it's a 4 quarters and you got a lot of plays to make up for. Those 2 plays are going to stick out big time whenever it just comes to snap, catch the ball, mesh, hand it off or pull it, and those 2 were big plays.
You mentioned the fumble snaps. What did you see as far as, it seemed like there were several snaps that were really, really low and Jake's having to go after for most of the game. I guess what was the difference this week with a lot of those low snaps?
Well, I think we've had some. If you go back throughout the year, we've had some. I think late in the game, we were getting ready to make a change. If we had another, true series, or we could have gotten in the end zone and got an onside kick, just because I think Rusty got banged up. He felt like he was okay, but his snap arm right there, that last series that we, through the interception, he got banged up on him. We were fixing to make a change and didn't really want to do it right there in the middle of the drive. It's tough whenever you have low snaps and offense. We're running really any offense, but the majority of offenses today, when you're in the gun and you're trying to, decide if you're going to hand it off, throw it, you've got to take your eyes. It's tough for a quarterback. I don't care who the quarterback is. It's tough for a quarterback, to have to go down and get the ball and have his eyes where they're supposed to be.
Coach,
Joey, to what extent does the offense change with the freshman quarterback making his first start?
It changed. I think we really tried to establish the run. But again, the 4th and 1 and then the touchdown we give up, that's just, we're running inside zone. Well, you're handling it, you're reading the end man. It's everybody in the nation runs the play, and we mishandle the mesh twice, and that didn't have anything to do with the snap. It was miscommunication with the quarterback and the running back of who thought if he was going to give it or if he was going to pull it.
Coach, at any point in the game, did you feel like Jake was maybe rattled at all, or did you feel like he kind of stayed composed throughout?
No, I think he, pretty composed. It's tough, whenever you're, you turn the ball over. I know you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, but I thought he stayed pretty composed.
You started the game with a lot of running in your first drive. How did you feel BYU defensively adjusted to that?
They did a good job. I thought they did a really good job as the game went on, and then whenever you kind of stretch the lead, you feel like you've got to throw the ball a little bit more. But I thought they did a good job playing the run.
Got time for about 2 or 3 more.
Coach, you mentioned the turnovers and penalties. That's kind of been a problem, both of those the whole year. Why do you think there hasn't been much progress on either of those fronts?
I think the turnovers have been. We went through a spell. We didn't have many. I don't know if we had any against Houston. Didn't we kind of had a spell. In the last 2 weeks, we've had we had 5 tonight and 3 last week, so we've had 8. And then penalty-wise, you've got to go back. We have been kind of in the middle of the pack penalty-wise as far as the Big 12, and really kind of on the lower side. And so it's going to be interesting to watch the film tonight. I want to watch the film, and you can ask me that question on Tuesday about the penalties, and I'll definitely answer it after I watch the film. I don't want to, without watching the film, I don't want to get myself in trouble because I usually don't ask my video guy to get a recording down to me after the game, so that was on that last interception that we were trying to throw the ball to Drake.
Is there any missed calls that you saw on your sideline?
It's going to be interesting if, I don't know. I asked a couple times with the officials, and, officiating, you got to just see what's going on. Because a lot of times they're right, and, you think that you saw something probably that you didn't. So we'll see.
Coach, you guys seem to be pretty banged up. How do you feel this bye week can get you guys healthy and get hopefully on the right track?
Yeah, we should get 3 or 4 guys back. We got a couple back tonight. We should get 3 or 4 guys back.
Coach, can you talk about playing here at Lavelle Edwards Stadium and what kind of addition BYU is to the Big 12?
Yeah, it's a great addition, man. That was a great atmosphere from the get-go, from the start. The student section was awesome whenever we came in, and it's a great addition there. He's doing, Klein's doing a great job. That's a good football team, and I really thought that the environment, it was loud, especially down in that end zone where the majority of the students are. It's really loud, and we had some miscues down there.
Enjoyed the 4th down play in the 3rd quarter. Jake rolled right. He had Miles short and the intended receiver about 20 yards. It looked like you were really upset right after that. Besides not completing the pass, what were you upset about?
I was just asking upstairs if we could have, because the one reason we moved him was, to have him and have an option. It was 4th and 3. I think they did a good job covering Miles. Jordan was open, but I was asking upstairs if we could have run from here, because coming out of that, we talked about, hey, look, if nothing's there, then just go get it with your feet, and so I was asking upstairs if he could have got it with his feet.
What were you told about the Jaden York ejection?
That they were mouthing, and there was pushing, and I don't know exactly, that's going to be a fun one to watch. But multiple ones, one on the sideline. I think it was one on the sideline with Miles Price, and then that one, I think that kind of bled over between the two. I think it was a punt return to their sideline, maybe. So those 2 plays bled together.
Generally, how do you feel Jake did in his first start?
It's tough. It's tough to put a freshman in that situation. But I mean, just we got to take care of the ball better, and that's a mixture of all of us. We'll see on some of those whether it's the play call, whether it's the offensive line, whether it's the route being run. Tough to evaluate whenever you have 3 interceptions.
Joey, you've been all about being a culture guy
Yeah.
and instilling a winning culture. You've had a lot of success with in the past. I think you've now lost 4 games this year that you're a favorite in. How do you feel about the culture that you have now? What have you done to make it a winning culture?
Yeah, I was surprised a little bit that we were favored in this game coming into BYU with a team that's 4-2. So, I don't really look at. I'm not a betting man anyway, so I don't really look at like if we're favored, not favored. The frustrating thing that it's no excuse, but we had 11 play K-State. We had 11 guys that we were expecting to start throughout the year that we didn't have in the game. We had another 9 tonight, and they're going to kick the ball off. And couple weeks, and hopefully we get some guys back. I mean, it's whoever's in the game, we've got to put them in the best position to win the game. We got to do better as coaches.
Going back to that 4th and 1 early in the game, I guess what went into going for it in that position rather than maybe kicking field goal?
Yeah, we felt like we had a really good play. Taj has been great in short yardage. That play is probably, if it gets handed off, that's a touchdown. So it's just not even a first down, it's a touchdown, and it didn't get handed off. And we, or it got handed off. I don't know if Taj thought it was going to be pulled. We'll see again, but, you know, we really felt good. I mean, anytime we have been good as far as not many negative plays in the run game.
Taj is unique, 31 carries tonight. How good is he comparative to the other running backs in that upper echelon of college football this year?
You know, he's had a great year, and you know, he's a guy that he's a workhorse. You know, he wants to do anything that he can do to help us win the game. You know, and you look at it too. He had 117, and he had a huge run called back. You know, on counter to our sideline, and so you know, could have had even more. And so and he's good. I mean, I guarantee anybody in the country would want Taj Brooks on their team.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all.